I think everyone that plays Destiny knows just how lethal a sword can be, but have you ever actually tried to build something based around nothing other than melee combat? Well, I have, and now I'm gonna show you how. This gear build has 3 different skill trees that it can take advantage of, and you're watching the first video in this new series focusing on the way of the current tree, which is one of my new personal favorites. Feel free to pick your own specific grenade, but I do recommend the arc bolt as always, and don't forget to equip the Gambler's Dodge for an instant recharge. This tree is composed of 4 different abilities, 2 active being Whirlwind Guard and Tempest Strike, plus 2 passive, Ebb and Flow, and then Lightning Weave. Lightning Weave increases reload speed after successful melee hits. Ebb and Flow electrifies and disorients targets after hitting them with arc abilities, most notably Tempest Strike. Whirlwind Guard deflects incoming projectiles and triples arc staff damage for a brief period of time, and lastly, Tempest Strike is a sliding uppercut that sends a wave of arc energy flying forward, potentially knocking targets up into the air if you hit them right. You need to keep this in mind, however. You will not be using your guns very often, so Lightning Weave is effectively of no real use to you until your sword is empty. Another video will be coming very soon, utilizing the same build with a different class tree, so be on the lookout for that within the next week. This one is really straightforward. You'll need only the 6th Coyote, or the 6th Coyote, however you pronounce it, which gives you a second dodge charge, and this is why you'll want to equip the Gambler's Dodge, so you always have a class ability ready. At the very least, you will need 3 mobility, 6 resilience, and 5 recovery. If at all possible, push your resilience and recovery above 6. This will keep you alive a lot longer than you might think. You're probably going to spend a lot of time at critical HP, so every single point really does matter, along with your elemental resistance, so make sure you set your elemental defenses to your liking. A full Masterwork armor set is definitely desired for max resistance, but not at all required. Your weapon of choice is going to be a sword. Any sword you like, though I do recommend Worldline Zero, mostly because Tesseract is an amazing attack. For legendary armor pieces, you can effectively use this build if you have at least 2 pieces with heavy ammo finder, though an optimal set would be 4 pieces with heavy finder or 3 pieces of heavy finder and 1 with sword reserves. I know that sounds a little confusing, but just bear with me here. Your kinetic and energy weapons have no real specification. Equip what you're most comfortable with, as the entire point of this build is to use your guns and your grenades simply to generate heavy ammunition, allowing you to keep using your sword. Now that we've gotten skill trees and gear out of the way, let's focus on the combat so you can get your hands dirty with this pretty neat gear build. Take a look at this footage and you'll see exactly what you just finished putting together. You are an attacker. Keep that in mind. You are going to execute a 5-step combo. Slide, uppercut, sword swap, light attack, and then heavy attack. This will typically kill your target, or at the very least, seriously damage it. When you land, your dodge roll is your escape command, simultaneously charging your melee attack, allowing you to bob and weave to a new position so you can recycle said combo. This is exceptionally effective for armored targets and ad control due to your damage output and the usage of your grenades to clean up any stragglers. Should you run dry on sword energy, swap to your guns and remain on the defensive side until you've acquired more heavy ammunition. Also, remember that you actually can block incoming damage. Your jaw will hit the ground when you see just how much damage guarding actually blocks, keeping you alive in critical moments like when an ogre decides to drop kick you in the chest and you hit the wall like a wet sock. You don't slide, you're just kind of stuck. But you'll still be alive, even though both your arms and legs are broken and somehow you managed to rupture a lung. I don't know if I'd use the term alive at that point, but you won't be dead. That's what I'm getting at here. You won't be dead. This can be used on bosses, though the damage they can dish out is exceedingly high, and a very skilled hand combined with max elemental resistance is required to stay alive when attacking a boss. So I'd recommend remaining on ad control until you can master this combo. And just so the whole world sees it, I clocked this knight right in the dick.
Holy shit.
I mean, seriously, what are the chances of popping a knight right in the schmack? Anyway, back to combat strategy. You are going to take a lot of damage while playing like this. It isn't something you can really prevent or avoid, but you can, however, find ways to reduce incoming damage, and the most effective way is utilizing your mobility and your sword block, both on the ground and in aerial combat. This is the main reason I recommend a high resilience, high recovery stat build. The more punches to the mouth you can take and the faster you can recover HP after having your teeth knocked in is the easiest way to avoid putting a hole through your monitor or TV. Another thing to remember is that Tempest Strike is going to disorient your target. They're going to be dazed and confused for a second because they just took a fist to the chin and got popped in the gourd. After a successful Tempest strike, you immediately swap to your sword and pull a light attack and a heavy attack. That 3-hit combo will almost always eliminate your target, and if it doesn't, they'll be way too busy picking up their teeth off the ground to chase you when you run away. The longer that guard is up, the less damage you take. Block incoming fire while weaving through obstacles until your recovery kicks in, then rinse and repeat. And also remember that you have a second dodge charge, so if need be, you can use an extra escape command if you find yourself in a nasty situation. This is a high-risk, high-reward gear set, and when I say high reward, I mean that you'll have a sense of pride, since the only drops that really matter are the weekly powerful engrams. To tell the truth, I haven't even really mastered this myself. This footage had a lot of resurrections that I had to cut out because I want to look cool on camera, and honestly, I'm just kind of a garbage player. On top of that, I have this strange need to feel accepted by the Destiny community. That's a story for another time. That is a story for another time. And until another time, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again in the next one. If you feel so inclined, please don't be afraid to like, share, or comment. All of that stuff is super nice, though to tell you the truth, viewership is far more than enough for me. This has been another Gear Talks video. Jayboy out.